Joining us now is someone who has done the country very proud. Karthikayen will be representing India at India's first Formula One Grand Prix on home turf. Welcome, Naren. First of all, those two images that we've seen yesterday in the MotoGP, in the motorcycle accident, and then the week before the Indy 500 David Weldon's accident, does that somewhere suggest that maybe the sport still remains unsafe, or is it just something that goes with the territory of motorsport?
Yeah, let's not kid ourselves. Motorsport is dangerous. These cars and bikes travel at over 300 kilometers an hour. So when you hit something hard, it's going to hurt, and sometimes it's fatal. And unfortunately, the last 2 weekends have been not so good for us. But anyway, that's motorsport for you. There is the danger element to it. You have to respect the sport. But Formula One has come a long way, and the last death was obviously the great late Ayrton Senna in '94.
So is the sport in that sense much safer, despite what's happened in the last 2 weekends? Formula One in particular much safer today than it was 10 years ago.
Yeah, for sure it is. And IndyCar racing ovals, you're doing nearly 400 kilometers an hour, and then your car takes off and you hit the catch fencing. It's very, very dangerous. But Formula One, yes, it is much more safer than any form of motorsport right now.
For you, of course, this week must be a big week. Did you ever, in your wildest imagination, when you started off this, believe that Formula One would come to India?
Honestly, no. And I dreamt of being a Formula One driver, and I made my debut in 2005. But to be in my racing career, I didn't think it's going to happen. But it's here, it's around the corner. I'm very, very excited. You can see the smile, and I'm very, very proud and happy to be racing here.
How good is the track? I mean, compared to global tracks, is it really up as good as it can get globally?
Honestly, I'm not just saying that this because I'm an Indian, but it is up there among the best in the world. They've done a fantastic job, and I'm really proud to say it's one of the best circuits in the world right now.
And for you, of course, it's been it's a tough ride, because I presume a driver is only as good as the car he gets. You don't have a Ferrari, you don't have a McLaren, you don't have a Red Bull at the moment. Is that all that makes the big difference? Increasingly, it is about just the fact that certain cars today have have a huge advantage.
Yeah, I know where you're coming from. I think the best example would be Michael Schumacher. He's come back, but he drives a good car, not the best car, and he hasn't had a podium since his debut last year. Right. And he was dominating everything else. But on the other hand, Red Bull and Vettel both are good, and the combination is just deadly. They're winning everything. So I drive for a very small team, the smallest on the grid. I'll try and do my best. I'm not going to complain. I want to enjoy the moment. I want to do the best race I possibly can, and see where it goes.
You want to see where it goes. Obviously, nothing would please you better than one day having a podium finish. But what are your expectations from this race? What for you will be a sense that you made your mark at the Indian debut Grand Prix?
I believe I'm driving better than ever. I'm fitter than ever, and I have quite a few years left in me. So I want to make a good race, and the exposure Formula One brings to the country. Hopefully, more corporates will support me, and I've been fortunate with the big groups like Tata's, but hopefully more people will come in and support me and drive with better teams in the future. But Formula One is so capital intensive right now. It's so difficult for drivers from this part of the world to really get the budgets together. Right.
Naren, one final question to you. As as an Indian Grand Prix in India, Sachin Tendulkar and others will be out there to cheer. What is this entire moment going to mean for the racing community? Do you believe this is a stepping stone now for India to actually get into bigger things with Formula One?
I think the motorsport fraternity is really thrilled about it. We have a world-class facility, and we're going to see racing academies coming up, celebrities so like Sachin and Dhoni, all of them endorsing it, so it gets the massive publicity, the push it needs. And I believe, yes, in the next few years we will see a lot of things happening in motorsport, and also a lot of young aspiring drivers coming out of India.
Well, Naren Karthikayen, as always, a pleasure talking to you. All the very best.
Thank you so much
for the big weekend, and may you do the country proud. Thanks very much.
Thanks a lot
for joining us.